All right, I have 209. Sorry for the delay, but we had some technical difficulties. Roll call. I'm here. Valerie,
Here.
Jerry,
Here.
Rick,
Here.
and Pamela.
Here.
So we have a quorum. And first item on the agenda is consider appointment of Kevin Stroud to serve as interim election administrator until such time as we do hire a permanent election administrator. I believe we discussed this, and I think not having a designated election administrator in-house would be a problem. And since Kevin's here and has a little bit of experience about doing it here, that's my suggestion. Anybody want to discuss that, or before I ask for a motion too, if you want somebody to give me a motion.
I move that we have Kevin as a interim.
So move in a second.
Second.
Rick Young. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Now, we do have two applicants, Kevin being one of them, and Gwen Holt, I believe is the last name, from Lavaca County is the other one. They're both here. I sent you, or I have to say I sent you, Jerry sent you their resumes. Do you wish to talk to them now, or do you want to wait and see if we get any more resumes before we really get into interviews? What's your pleasure?
I think since they're here, we should do it now.
Do you want to interview them now or wait for more possible applications? She says, since they're here, we could talk to these two now and still wait another week.
I agree with that, because that way we have already interviewed them and they wouldn't have to make another trip if they were from out of town.
Correct.
And but not make a decision until at some future point, in case we get other applications.
Okay.
When is the hiring, when does the hiring end? When does the,
I think until filled, is that correct, Linda?
Until Phil, yeah.
Currently, we have it open until filled. You guys could make a determination as to how long you want to take
We
the
can close it
applications.
whenever we want to.
so I think if we're gonna interview, we've already made Kevin the interim. So in the middle of being the interim, are we saying that we would hire one of the,
No, we wouldn't say that since they're here, and Gwen being from Lavaca County, she wouldn't have to come down again for an interview if we interview her and Kevin today.
I would think we should wait if we're gonna be interviewing, and we could do it on Zoom even, we don't have. to
That's
do it.
fine. That's fine. If that's okay with everybody, we'll put this off for another week. Does anybody have any idea of how long you want to run this? I mean, do you want to run it until after the election or before the election? Or when would you like to say apply by this date or it's over? Any suggestions?
Well, I think, I was thinking, it's so different.
Yeah, I've never
That we
done,
should wait till after the election because he has experience in the area and he knows what we're doing and he
Well,
knows our voting.
I sort of agree with you, Pamela. Gwen has a position and I'd hate to hire her away from that position, the crucial election going on, but that would be up to the committee. So,
I agree that we should not hire until after our election, because the closer we get to election, the more crazy it is for both elections
I agree.
going on.
all right. So in
I
that
make a
case,
Motion that we wait, is that what has to happen?
Yeah, I guess that's, wait, and you want to make a decision until, on a date to not take any more applications?
I'll make that one first. Okay, I make the motion that we wait one more week for applications. Does that sound good?
One more week for applications and then wait till after election before we
I,
hire?
if we're not gonna do it till after elections, I believe that we
Why don't we just
need
leave
to
it
keep it open
open
until
until,
filled.
Okay,
until election?
And
Yeah.
then that way, when we're ready for our next meeting, and if we want to do it prior to, close to the election,
Yeah, we can do it.
we can do it then.
That's a good
or
idea.
whatever.
All right, make that motion, Jerry.
can we do it by Zoom so that she doesn't?
Yes,
Okay,
I make a motion that we keep the job position open for the opportunity of receiving other applications, and then set a point in time when we are ready to do interviews in the future.
motion made,
Second.
second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Now, in this, doing this, we have to recognize that Michelle Carew's last day is going to be September the 18th, 2020, as the election administrator. Michelle, you have anything to say?
No, not anything more than I said last time. I mean, I do appreciate all the opportunity I've had with you guys. I feel very blessed to have been able to be there and work with you guys. And I'm excited to see what happens in the future.
All right. Thank you. And thank you for your service to
you.
the county.
Yes, sir.
So do I have a motion? Oh, no, I don't guess we have to make a motion because that's the commissioner's court to do that. All right. What we need to discuss is, Kevin, well, I'm thinking that you'll need somebody to hire doing what you've done through the CARES Act. Linda, you want to get up and tell them what we've discussed and see how he agrees with that?
So our plan and our thoughts at this point is that since you have now appointed him as interim, it would be up to him to find someone that can fill his temporary position until November. And then he's going to
Until the end
bring
of November.
until the end of November.
wait, tell me who you are. I'm sorry.
I'm Linda. I'm
Linda.
sorry, Linda Down, HR Director.
Okay.
And then we will bring Michelle on. Michelle will continue to work part-time over the phone and through Zoom whenever he needs help or guidance through the rest of this election. And then at that time, she'll move on to doing just her own new job.
Okay.
How will we pay Michelle?
She will remain as a part-time employee. We'll just transfer her over into a part-time position until,
The part-time is like how many hours?
it will depend upon how many hours
be
he's
paid
going to
by the
need, but it'll
hour.
have to be under 30.
And would it be paid by the contact? Like, is it part-time, like at any time he needs help, or is it a set?
She's going to have to turn in some time sheets for it, yes.
So would it be, is it just open less than 30 hours? Or would
Yes.
it be as needed?
As needed, open less than 30 hours and until the election is over.
And the person that's hired to help Kevin,
That will be under the CARES Act, that it's a temporary position that was approved in Commissioner's Court that lasts until the end of November.
and the money for that comes from,
That comes
CARES.
from the CARES Act.
Would that position be reposted?
Depends upon whether you're going to fill it with someone who's already hired. If you have someone that is already working for the county in elections, you can take one of them and put them into the position.
One of
But-
your part-time election.
Correct. Correct. But if you don't have anyone that works for that and it would be recommended then to go ahead. And yes, you definitely have to post it if you're not going to hire someone that's already working for you into that position.
And mine, I'm thinking that Kevin was the CARES Act employee,
Right,
Mhm.
and Julie is the only
Coordinator,
full-time.
correct.
right.
Is there any other part-times involved in elections
No,
No.
besides the judges or whatever?
no.
Okay, so really there is no one to hire within, correct?
Except one of the,
Well,
one
the
of the,
temporary, the actual election workers are all considered county employees. They are
So
all
the ones
already
that are
on.
working early voting elections,
Correct, correct. They are
considered
all
already.
county
I haven't
employees
received
already.
The names of those people, so.
I don't know who they all are yet at this point either,
Because
so.
they were supposed to be approved by Commissioners Court and then sent out to all of us, and none of my judges or alternate judges or clerks have received notification.
mm,
So there must not be any.
Well, I can answer that question. No, there is. I can answer that question. It was approved in court a few weeks back. The writs of election are not due out yet. So that is something that we're working on next week when I come in to Rockport. So the judges and the alternates will be notified. What you're confusing with that is you're expecting like each clerk to receive a notice and they're not going to get it. The only ones who are going to get notices are the alternates and the judges themselves. Can you hear me now? You guys are muted.
I'm not
There you
muted, am I? All right.
No, I hear you now. What I was saying is the judges and the alternates were already approved in Commissioner's Court. Their writs of elections will go out next week. But I think what Pam's confusion is she thinks that every clerk is going to get something from our office and they're not. During the
That's
general
not what
election,
my
it is the-
confusion is. That's
Okay.
absolutely
Okay.
not what
All
my
right.
confusion is.
I just want to finish saying what I'm saying. So the judges to each of our vote centers, it's their responsibility to hire their clerks. Now, most of them will go ahead and just, team up with their alternates, but it doesn't say that they have to. So each one of the judges and alternate clerks will get a writ of election next week. letting them know how many people they can hire for the November election.
Actually, what we're talking about is who the judges and alternates are in case Kevin wants to hire one to fill his position. But we don't know who they are, but Kevin was going to tell us.
Those
Or if
were
you
approved
know.
in court. The alternate judges was a list you gave me of the 4 people to fill those places. So you should already have the list of your alternates. Because you provided that list to me that I provided to the court. The only list that we need, and I can get it to Kevin, is the list of the judges that Rick gave me the names for.
And Kevin, you said that's on your website?
The
It's on my
order-
computer.
It's also,
Can you just
Court
read us the
Order
names?
012-2020. It's posted on the Aransas County's website under public notices and meeting.
Can you just read it to us?
So for the GI Forum, Republican Melissa Harrison, alternate judge, Democrat Jane Moore. Rockport Volunteer Fire Department, Carolyn Cox, Republican. Holly Francis, Democrat. Fulton Volunteer Fire Department, Patricia Barker, Republican. Bertha Schwartz, Democrat. Rockport Service Center, Molly Johnson, Republican, and Kathy, I can't pronounce her last name, McGulick, Democrat.
We did receive notice this week that Molly Johnson is not going to be a judge. She's no longer going to be a judge. So that's just something we received yesterday in an email that we'll have to address to get replacements for her. And we'll need to get another set of judges and alternates for the Fulton Convention Center.
So to hire, we have to pick from, you to be picking.
No,
from these.
he'll hire that person. We don't have to worry
We'll
about
work
I just
on the
wanna know where
specifics
it's
of that
coming
later,
from.
really.
Yeah. Okay,
It doesn't have.
it. It doesn't even have to be one of those people.
okay.
Mm-mm.
All right. I don't think we have anything else to discuss. Y'all want to sit around? We can do that too.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.